You want to know why most people will never be wealthy? It's not because they're lazy, it's not because they're not smart enough, and it's not because they don't have capital to start with. They'll never be wealthy because they are playing the wrong game entirely. And what makes it worse? They don't even know they're playing it. $1 million. That number sounds like a dream to most people. But today, I'm going to show you that it has nothing to do with luck, nothing to do with inheritance, and nothing to do with who you know. It comes down to one single thing that almost everyone misses. There's a pattern shared by almost everyone who has built real, lasting wealth. Not those who look rich on social media, but those genuinely, quietly, financially free. This pattern isn't taught in school, nor at motivational seminars, and almost nobody talks about it, honestly. I'll show you this pattern before the video ends. But first, let's address something that might sting. You might be making one of 3 fatal mistakes. Picture this. You work hard. Every day you show up, every month you get paid, and every end of month, the money just disappears somewhere. You're not reckless with spending. You're not eating at 5-star restaurants every night. You're not buying things you don't need. But somehow, the number in your bank account never moves in any meaningful direction. Year 1 of working, $40,000 a year. Year 5, maybe $60,000. Year 10, pushing $80,000. And it feels like progress. It looks like progress. But here's the honest math. With the cost of living rising every year, with inflation silently eating the value of your money, and with your responsibilities growing as you get older, you're not moving forward. You're running in place on a treadmill that keeps speeding up. And this isn't one person's story. This is the story of millions of people who work hard their entire lives, retire with barely enough, and end up dependent on their children or a pension that was never designed to cover real freedom. So, what do most people do? They try one of 3 paths. And all 3 look completely reasonable until you run the actual numbers. Path 1, save harder. The logic is clean. Income minus expenses equals savings, so cut the expenses, eat cheaper, skip the vacation, delay buying this, postpone buying that. But here's what nobody tells you. Saving has a ceiling. You cannot cut your expenses beyond 100% of your income. And with inflation running at 3 or 5% per year, the money sitting in your savings account is literally shrinking in real value every single day. Frugality is a virtue, but frugality alone has never made anyone a millionaire. Path 2, the side hustle grind. This one is everywhere right now. Freelance this, dropship that, offer this service, flip that product. And yes, it produces results, but most people fall into the exact same trap. More time traded, more energy burned, less life actually lived. A side hustle without a system just turns you from an employee of someone else's company into an employee of your own company, with longer hours and a much harsher boss. Path 3, get rich quick. Trading stocks you don't understand. Crypto recommended by a cousin, an MLM that already has proof, or a business funded entirely by borrowed money. You already know how these stories usually end, not because all investing is bad, but because doing the right thing in the wrong way still produces the wrong result. None of these paths are entirely wrong, but they all share the same fundamental flaw. They treat money as the goal, rather than as the byproduct of something far more important. Let's be brutally honest with the numbers. 3 real scenarios for the same person. Age 25, starting salary of $40,000 a year, with one shared goal. Reach financial freedom before 40. Scenario A, save only. You put away 20% of your salary every month for 15 years. Salary grows 5% a year. Savings earn 3.5% interest. You end up with roughly $87,000. That's not financial freedom. That's not even a down payment on freedom. Scenario B, salary plus side hustle. You add $2,000 a month from side work on top of everything else. Better. After 15 years, you're sitting around $240,000. More money? Yes. But it cost you every spare hour, every weekend, every moment you could have spent on anything else. You're richer, and you're exhausted. Scenario C, skill plus leverage. You build a high-value expertise in years 1 through 3. You productize it in years 3 through 5. You scale it with systems in years 5 through 15. Your income doesn't grow linearly, it grows exponentially. By year 15, you're looking at well over $1 million. And more importantly, you're not trading every hour to maintain it. What separates Scenario C from everything else? Not how hard they worked. All 3 worked hard. Not their starting capital. They all began at the same point. What's different is the structure underneath it all. In scenarios A and B, your income is chained to your time. Every dollar that comes in requires an hour that goes out. This is called linear income. It moves 1 step for every 1 step you take. In scenario C, there comes a point where the system works for you. Income is no longer tied 1.1 with time. And that's what creates the gap between $87,000 and over $1 million in the exact same 15-year window. Here's something that was never taught in any economics class I know of. Your financial problem is not that you're spending too much. Your financial problem is that you're not earning nearly enough. There's a profound difference between someone trying to get wealthy by cutting spending versus someone getting wealthy by multiplying their income. The first person's life gets smaller. Every financial decision becomes a sacrifice. Can't buy this, can't go there, can't enjoy that. And ironically, because life feels increasingly restricted, the motivation to stay disciplined slowly collapses. The second person's life gets bigger. Every new skill opens a new income door. Every system they build generates money even while they sleep. And because their life feels expansive, their energy and motivation grow right alongside it. Saving has a ceiling. Income does not have a ceiling. Jeff Bezos didn't get wealthy because he clipped coupons. He got wealthy because he built systems whose income potential was unlimited. You don't need to be Bezos, but you need to understand the same underlying principle. So, what exactly is the system? After studying the patterns of hundreds of people who built genuine wealth, it always comes down to the same three pillars. Pillar 1. Skill, high-value expertise. Not a generic skill that everyone has. A skill that is rare, that the market desperately needs, and that is genuinely difficult to replicate. Copywriting, software engineering, financial modeling, high-ticket sales, data-driven marketing. These are skills that can make someone earn 10 times the average, simply because they are truly deeply good at what they do. And here's the key. Depth beats breadth. A person who is extraordinarily good at one thing will always out-earn someone who is moderately decent at 10 things. Pillar 2. Leverage, force multipliers. Leverage is how you make your skill work harder than you personally can. It comes in 4 forms. Capital leverage, money working for you. Human leverage, a team working for you. Code leverage, software working for you. And content leverage, your ideas working for you even while you sleep. Without leverage, you are permanently trapped trading time for money. Forever. No matter how skilled you become, there are only 24 hours in a day. Leverage is how you break that ceiling. Pillar 3, scale, unlimited reach. Scale doesn't mean working harder. Scale means building systems that can reach more people without proportional cost. One article written today can be read by 1 million people over the next decade. One digital product built once can be sold thousands of times with no additional production cost. Scale is the point where your income starts moving faster than the time you invest in it. It's where everything compounds. These 3 pillars cannot be separated. Skill without leverage just gives you a higher salary. Leverage without skill just amplifies your failure faster. And scale without both only accelerates your collapse. But when all 3 work together, that's what takes someone from 0 to numbers they never thought were possible, in a timeline far shorter than they imagined. Now, I have to be honest with you. Everything I just explained, this 3-pillar system, is not new. Hundreds of books have covered it. Thousands of videos have explained it. You've heard some version of it before. So why do so few people actually do it? Because there is one thing you cannot buy, cannot borrow, and cannot get from any motivational content. The willingness to be uncomfortable for a long stretch of time. Building high-value expertise takes time. Not 3 days, not 3 weeks, more like 3 years. And during those 3 years, you'll watch people around you posting vacation photos, buying new cars, and looking more successful than you, while you're quietly building something whose results aren't visible yet. Building leverage requires the confidence to play a long game when all the early wins are still small. Most people quit at this phase, not because they lack the ability, but because they can't tolerate the uncertainty. And scaling something? That demands facing repeated failure, adjusting, trying again, and refusing to let those failures become your identity. The harshest truth about wealth is this: everyone wants the result, but very few are willing to pay the price of the process. Not the price in money, the price in time and energy and patience, and in the courage to keep moving when the results refuse to show up on your schedule. I want you to do something after this video ends. Not subscribe, not share, not buy anything. I want you to sit with one question and answer it with complete honesty. 5 years from now, what does your life actually look like? Not the answer you'd say out loud because it sounds impressive. Not the answer designed to seem ambitious or humble. The answer that lives in the quietest, most honest corner of your mind. The one you don't say to anyone else. Because that is the only real starting point. Not an investment tip, not a business strategy, not any 3-pillar framework. Everything begins with clarity about where you're actually going. Most people never have that clarity. They spend their entire lives reacting to what happens, rather than designing what happens. There's a well-known study that followed Harvard graduates over 20 years. The finding was almost absurdly simple. The people who had written down specific goals earned, on average, 10 times more than those who hadn't. Not because they were smarter, not because they had more opportunity, but because when you know exactly where you're going, your brain automatically starts seeing opportunities that were invisible before, starts making sharper decisions, and starts avoiding the traps that once looked attractive. $1 million? 10 million? Financial freedom. Whatever that number means to you, it is not too big a goal. It's just a goal that hasn't had the right system built around it yet. And maybe, just maybe, today is the first day you start building that system. Or maybe it isn't. That part is entirely up to you.